This morning we're just going to do some very simple startup activities with Pandas. We're going to create a data frame based on a comma separated value file, and then we're going to get some basic information about it. That's really all we're going to do this morning. Okay. So you're going to be doing this in CoCalc, and in CoCalc you need to create a folder for this work. My suggestion is you call it Pandas Notes. And in that folder, you want to download the file 082.csv from Moodle to your computer, then upload it to the folder you just created in CoCalc. Okay, then create a Jupyter notebook in the same folder to do the work below. The data that we're going to be looking at this morning is from the Olympia Airport. Okay, so you got some work set up for you to do, so let's go ahead and do that and come back. This will probably take you 5 to 10 minutes to get all set up to do everything. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video, or you're going to stop the video, and then you're going to come back here and take up again when you're done. Okay. You're back. Okay, I assume you're ready to go ahead. The first task is to make NumPy available as NP and make Pandas available as PD. This is kind of a standard startup, something you'll probably put at the beginning of all of your CoCalc notebooks on when we're working with Pandas. So go ahead and do that, then come back and start the video again when you're ready. Okay, you're back. So import NumPy as NP, import Pandas as PD. Task 2, get the data. Using pd.read_csv, create the data frame OAW2 from the CSV file and set the row number to index 0. Okay, you remember how to do that from the data camp course, I hope. So go ahead and do that, and then come back when you're done. You're back. Hopefully you're done. So the command is OAW2 equals pd.read_csv. Then there's the name of the CSV file in quotes, and index_call equals 0. That's what saves us from having that unnamed column that we don't want to deal with. Alrighty. Task 3, what is it? Use the method info to get some basic information about the data frame. I don't think it was in your data camp course, but it's a very basic thing that you always want to do after you read a data frame. See what it was. Okay? So I think that's enough information, even if you haven't seen it before, that you can do it now. So go ahead and do that, then come back and start the video again when you've done it. All right? You're back. I guess you did it. So OAW2.info, and this is what it tells you. It says that this is a Pandas data frame, and it tells you that there are 28,700 entries or rows, and they're numbered 1 through 28,708. And then you have the columns that are there. PRCP, of course, if you've been in Olympia, you think about precipitation or rain quite a lot, and that's the recording of rain. There's the maximum temperature, there's the minimum temperature, year, month, and day. I think those are kind of obvious. Warmth is something that was created based on the maximum and or minimum temperature, and wetness is something that was created based on the precipitation value. But those are just simply described as objects. That is, they're really, what they really are is just strings. Okay, so it tells you that there are 3 floats, 3 integers, and 2 objects. Okay. So what are we going to do next? Task 4. Get some statistical information on the contents. And to do that, you're going to use the method describe. And I think since I've told you that it's a method that applies to a data frame, you know exactly what to type, right? The name of the data frame dot describe parentheses. And just hit the enter key after you've done that. Okay, so do the typing. Go ahead and look and see what you get. Okay, you're back. I assume you've done your work. And this thing that I'm using to make slides does not do a real good job with the output of describe. But let me look in CoCalc, and you can. This is the way it looks when you did it. So you see all of the values or statistical information on all of these variables. Precipitation, for instance, has a mean of 0.136 inches, and it has a maximum 4.8 inches. My God, that must have been awful. And let's see here. The median, or the 50th percentile of the precipitation value is still 0. And that means that on fewer than half of the days in Olympia do you see any rain at all. You know, I guess that's in the data, but I just find it hard to believe. It seems to me like it rains every day. So let's look at the maximum temperature. The mean of the maximum temperatures is 60.5 degrees, and the median is 59 degrees, which is almost the same. And the maximum, 104 degrees, that's really uncomfortable. That doesn't happen very often around here. I don't know if any of you have ever seen 104 degrees in Olympia. And we may have to look and see where those things are. The minimum temperature, the mean of the minimum temperatures is 39.8, and the median is 39.9, very similar. And the highest minimum temperature we ever had was 69 degrees. That's really warm. Then year, month, and day, those things aren't very interesting. Maybe the only thing is the minimum is 1941 for year. Maximum is 2019, so we know that our data stretches from 1941 through 2019. And then, of course, month, the minimum is 1, the maximum is 12. Day, the minimum is 1, and the maximum is 31. And that's what you would expect, okay? So let's go back and look in our pubs. And task 5 is to use the methods head and tail to see the beginning and end of the data frame. So go ahead and use head and tail, and then we'll come back and I'll take a look at it. Okay, you're back. Here's the beginning. So the first record in the entire data frame was on May 13th of 1941, and that day there was no precipitation. The maximum temperature was 66 degrees. The minimum temperature was 50. That was a pretty pleasant day. It was classified as warm and dry. Unlike the fourth observation was on May 16th of that year, and it was cold and really wet. There was more than an inch of rain on May 16th of 1941. Okay, then let's look at the very end. The very last observation is December 31st of 2019. It was cold and really wet. How cold was it? Well, the maximum temperature was 52 degrees. That's not really that cold. The minimum temperature was 44. I'm not really exactly sure what cold means, so I actually created it. But oh my gosh, 1.5 inches of rain. That's awful. That is really, truly, really wet. Okay, so that's doing what I wanted to accomplish this morning. We read in a data file, a CSV file, and we converted it into a Pandas data frame, and we got some basic information about the contents of the data frame. And we'll see we can do a lot more with this data frame. Okay? Enough for today. End of things.